Good morning, love leaders. Welcome to the Dr. Shanon live show. It's so good to see and be back with all of you this week. We are in our part two of two parts series on healthy couples fight. All this year, we are talking about what do healthy couples actually look like? What do they sound like? What do they do? What do they don't do? And so we are walking 1 week at a time, each one of you through just tips and encouragements so that you can take each a step towards each other each week of the year. And we get to hear about all of your progress back to the person that you love the most, your most important person on this planet by the end of this year. So last week we introduced Healthy Couples Fight, and I said this is so big. It's so big that it's really hard to even confine into two parts. I mean, the majority of my book that's coming out this month really dives deep into the neuroscience of what really happens in not only healthy couples that have a protest system that's safe in the way that they interact when they're not sure of one another, but how the neuroscience of our brains react to our romantic partners, also in counterintuitive or counterproductive ways where those protest systems don't necessarily lead to work throughs or problem solvings or healing conversations or reconnection. So that's a preview of the neuroscience of my book that's coming out this next month. But today we're in part two of the fact that really healthy couples do fight. They do have these protest systems when they're not sure of you or one another, right? Letting our partner know when we're not sure in ways that are healthy and safe so that our partner can move towards. And so today I really want to highlight 7 options that you have as a partner to be able to soothe your other partner when they are protesting. 7 ways that you can move towards your partner when they are in a place of, I'm not sure of you and I want to let you know. Now, listen, they might want to let you know in a really escalated way, or maybe in a shut down, I want you to come towards me and come after me kind of way. I know that the most healthy way is if your partner can be vulnerable and soft and use words that allow you to come towards without a threat. But sometimes that doesn't always happen. And sometimes we're not perfect at it. So healthy couples know what an escalated protest looks like from their partner when they can't do it in a soft kind of way. So whether it's escalated or shut down or flight, they move towards their partner in a way that they understand it will be able to soothe their partner in that moment. And here are the 7 steps of options that you can do. You can do validating statements. It makes sense that. A validating statement is even more than just, I hear you saying. No, is a validating statement is finding things that they're saying that you can agree with, that make sense. Also, you can have an empathic response. If they're not telling you exactly how they are feeling using emotional words, you can ask them, how are you actually feeling? That matters to me. And once they give you an emotion, mad, sad, glad, those kinds of things. Once they give you an emotion, then your empathic response is to feel sad must be like blank. So fill in your own blank. What does it feel like when you're sad? because dropping yourself into that moment, you can relate to maybe what they're experiencing through your own experiences. So using that as a drawing point. You can actually just reach over softly and either grab their hand or, you know, gently squeeze their or pet their leg or say, can I embrace you? Can I hold you? Now, not always people that are really escalated will receive that. So that might not be an option right away. Hopefully, they can receive it at some kind of future point in the discussion. But definitely, neuroscience is real about the power of touch. If you think about it, when a crying baby um, is right in front of you, the first thing, well, hopefully, the first thing that you think about is you want to bring it close to comfort. And it's that attachment system is no different than what we experience with that parent-child interaction in our partnership interaction. So trying to incorporate some kind of gentle touch, embrace, it really does de-escalate our partners if they will receive it in a safe kind of way. Fourthly, you can, if you don't understand, you can continue just to ask curious questions until you do. And remember, curious questions are questions that help you understand them more. They aren't necessarily motivated to be understood. So asking curious questions allows you to help them slow down and explain what's going on with them, knowing that it matters to you. And especially until you actually understand. If you can't validate anything because you don't understand yet, it doesn't make sense, then continue to ask curious questions until you do. Hopefully you can watch how those questions come out when we use why. Automatically, they're going to tell us why, and it's going to be very defensive. So maybe even using the words, help me understand better. It matters to me to understand this, those kinds of things. So then the next one, so we're on number 5. Give room to share. Give them just room and space to say it all the way out until they get to the end of their story. Hold space to be attentively listening for key words like their emotion or details that you can ask curious questions about. And then when they get done, you can even use the question, is there anything else you would like me to know? Because it really helps when the person feels like they got it all the way out and they can put a period and it's all said. It feels like closure and completion to them. Then the number 6, we're on number 6. It's time to repair. We've talked about this in some earlier live shows. If you want to go back and listen in depth about how the many steps of what a repair looks like. But for the sake of today, actually owning and apologizing for your part of this. And sometimes it's unintentional, sometimes it's unknowing, but that's okay. Because it's more important that your most important person knows that you're sorry that anything that you've done, intentionally or unintentionally, has caused some kind of slight doubt of you, hurt, or it's more important to choose reconnection than to really hunker down on what should have been, shouldn't have been said, or if they should feel that way or shouldn't feel that way, right? So just own your part. We say it, for example, when we accidentally step on someone's toe, oh, sorry. To a total stranger, but it's harder, and that's that neuroscience thing. It's harder to say that to our partners we unintended, didn't intend, and they're seeing us in a really negative light and portraying us in a way that we feel misunderstood, it's really hard to say, I am so sorry. And then lastly, today, number 6, reassure. At this, and really be sure that this comes later, because if you immediately go in to try to reassure them that it was not intentional, they're going to feel like you're trying to explain it away, minimize or dismiss, or be defensive. But after you go through all of that vetted out steps and you're reassuring them, I really didn't understand. I didn't intend to hurt you. So reassurance. And secondly, reassurance of how you might want to do or make that look different moving forward. Listen, healthy couples can do these steps organically and in their sleep. They rehearse it, they practice it, they get good at it. It's a learned discipline. We don't learn necessarily how to do this in our family of origins. We always wonder, what is that secret sauce for healthy couples on how they navigate conflict? It's the number one thing that people complain when they come into counseling with me. We are just not getting along well. We're not communicating well. And so get these tips down. Validation, empathic response, soft touch, curious question, holding room to share, repair, and reassurance. And I promise you that safe and secure bond will only get deeper. It will only enhance towards movement and connection. You will navigate your problems, which will reduce your stress and tension. It will allow you to stay present in the moment, to drop down in your warmth and fun. And it will continue to allow opportunity for that romance and passion and sparkle to continue in your relationship. So get these down pat, guys, and go learn how to love well. This is Dr. Shanon. We'll see you next week.